Hi there. So, how are you?
Oh, I am blessed by the best. Doing
Oh,
great.
I love to hear that. I love to hear, you know, that
Thank you.
somebody told me earlier. Um, this it was funny. I just talked to somebody today, and I said, "How are you?" And they said, "Living the American dream and blessed all day." And I was like, "Wow!" Like, later in the day, like you don't usually hear stuff like that. You
Right,
usually
that's
hear,
true.
you're like, "Yeah, I'm all right." Like
Right, exactly.
it's
Like,
hot
yeah, just
outside.
chilling.
We're so spoiled. It's like, it's hot outside. I don't want to leave. I just want to Netflix and chill, man. Um, so I am so excited. I had told your PR dude, who's also a friend of mine. I said,
hmm
I've been following this story, and I tried to not
Oh,
get
wow.
like mad. When it first happened, I was like, you know what though, I can't get mad because what the devil means for evil, God will turn for good in some way. And
Exactly.
and then it's so amazing. So
Exactly.
for people who happen to maybe not know about Zion's Joy, like as far as a group, can you kind of give people a background on who you guys are, like how you formed and when you formed?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, Robert Stevenson formed Zion's Joy in 2008. And it's based out of Indianapolis. And they started with the first album, Knocking on Your Heart, and which did really well. Had a song on there also, uh, Testimony, which did very well and touched a lot of people. I've joined the group since that time. I'm from Chicago and also is one other member from our group, and we are really just about spreading the word of the Lord. We want everyone to know that Jesus loves them, and we just really want to promote that we're all united in Christ.
Well, and that is really such a message for today because we
Mm-hmm.
are so divided by everything.
Exactly.
People act like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just politics. No, it's not. The churches especially are even divided over. Sometimes it's like voting on what kind of carpet to put in the youth center. Like
Yeah.
there's some serious. I've watched some churches go down over issues like that. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
if we're doing that, then people who don't have the hope of God in their life, obviously that's going to spin right off the rails. And so you guys had the story that got very interesting is that you guys have a new single called "What Would Heaven Look Like," and you put it.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I understand, if I can remember this right, so you put it up on Facebook, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming, did you put it on YouTube or just Facebook
Just Facebook initially.
initially? Okay, and then but they
Right.
flagged it as like that it had political content, and then they blocked it from social media from the platform, and but then you guys
Mm-hmm.
had. Can you take it from there? So, but they blocked it thinking there was
Sure.
political content.
Well, we really don't know. That's just what they told us, that it was political content.
It felt like it was more like code for something else. I like it wasn't necessarily
Right.
political content.
It's
Content.
probably very general.
It's probably controversial because of like it's probably because it's Christian, probably part of that. But I thought it was a very unification kind of message to the song. I That's why it confused
Very
me.
what?
Like it was unifying, and the like.
Yeah, exactly.
So you would, if it's
Exactly.
political, then it's in a good way, It's like have a
Exactly.
hey, can the world, what was that? I wish the world could sing, and you know, the coke, have a coke, and like join hands around the world. Like that's the kind of song it's.
Right.
That's what it reminded
Exactly.
me
Like a
of.
heal the world type of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Exactly.
Different people like talk to you guys about it.
Oh yeah, it has actually been spreading like wildfire. Our publicist, got it onto so many different media. So yeah, Fox News, and of course here we are. We understand New York Times, and so many more. Local Fox in Indianapolis, and then there's also some other radio stations just all over, even on the internet, that we've just been sharing this story. And not to say anything bad about Facebook, but really just to show how they turned around and said, "Hey, we're sorry, we made an error," and now more people get to hear this song and be blessed by it.
Yeah, because if they hadn't have said anything at all or taken it down, then there's
Right.
a whole bunch of people that, because of the controversy that they started, basically you guys weren't
Mm-hmm.
being controversial, but the fact that they took it down
Right.
made it a story, and then that introduced
Mm-hmm.
your song to so many other people. So I just thought that
Exactly.
was just so God, like for that
Absolutely.
to come out like that. So now you guys are. Did he say you were going to be on Huckabee this weekend?
Yes, we are going to be on Huckabee this Friday. We are going to be taping in Nashville. We're super excited about it. Just found about it this week, and we're going to go ahead and make it happen. What a huge blessing. I'm sure that if this controversy didn't arise, I don't think this would happen.
Oh,
All these opportunities.
but that's God works how he wants to, when he wants to, and uses
Mm-hmm.
different things like that. And I'm so glad that people got to see the song and now the video. I mean the video, of
Mm-hmm.
course, because it's honestly, I would have eventually heard about it, but I heard about it
Right.
super quick, after that
Exactly.
story happened, because I got the press release, that Brian
Mm-hmm.
sent, and as soon as I saw it, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "What in the world?" And then I thought,
World.
okay, well, I give the press the benefit of the doubt, or Facebook, like
Mm-hmm.
I want to like see it for myself. Like, is this like controversial in some way, like that maybe doesn't mean to, but that if I didn't know God, like what
Mm-hmm.
I might take it some way. And then I was
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it at all. Not at all. I see is, people trying to talk about how beautiful the unity of all those people would be, in heaven. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I
Exactly.
thought it was a very unifying message. And in the end, it did, because I saw several people sharing it that I know in the industry that was like, can you believe this?
Really.
Like, yeah, just people saying this is really unheard of, and just sharing, that happened, that had been, taken
Right.
down for being controversial. And again, that all that did was make them want to go back and look at the video and say, hey, I'm gonna check it
Exactly.
out. And that's exactly what we need. So people can
Mm-hmm.
actually go on YouTube though and see what would heaven look like. Just put in what would heaven look like
Yes.
in Zion's joy and find it that way. It's
Yes. That's what they've been doing. It's been growing every day, at least by 1,000 views.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
Right.
I mean, obviously, this is, definitely got a lot of different ways for you to share your message. But so what is going on for you guys this year? Do you have a new album out, or what's going on with you guys?
Yes, well, this actually happened on the brink of us promoting this new single. Literally, it's just, that's how like you said, look at God.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
us we were on the brink of promoting this song. Literally, it was just released in June on Facebook, the video was. And so now we're just doing everything that we can to promote it. We are going to continue with the events. We're going to continue with the events that we already have planned. We're going to be in Stafford, Virginia. We're going to be, of course, like we talked about just a few minutes ago, in Nashville this Friday. Also, we're going to be in Canada. We're also going to be doing a 20 church tour throughout the fall. So we're busy.
Yeah, well,
We're busy, and we're going to keep
that's
spreading the
wonderful.
love of Jesus. Mm-hmm.
And so, if people want to find out more about you, do you have a website where they can see not only that, but more information about your touring and other music and things that you have?
Oh, yes. It's zionsjoy.com. So just zionsjoy.com. And then also, like us on Facebook. Our page is just simply that, just Zion's Joy. And we have our information on there as well.
Yeah, okay, and that's definitely somewhere where you need to go over there, and if you do like it, especially on Facebook. Like,
Right.
not
Absolutely.
not as a mean thing, but as a, you know what, we need to make sure Facebook knows that we support this video.
Exactly.
Not that we're
Mm-hmm.
being mean about it, but and I don't know. And you know what? Even if it was like a typo that somebody deleted it, like that would be still awesome. Like, and they said political content. I mean, whatever. Maybe it was just a word they used to, like, you know get to, get past, like, somebody accidentally deleting it or something. But whatever,
Who knows?
God works through everything, and I'm glad, and I hope this keeps you busy, and I'm glad
Yes.
you're use I can tell by already, like, the interview you did with, like, New York Times, and those are all posted too. Like, you can go
Right.
to foxnews.com and you can see their interview with Dana Perino, or
Yeah.
Perino, or something. Like, is that how you say her name?
Right.
Is it
I think Perino probably, I'm
Perino?
guessing.
And
Dana
then,
Perino.
the New York Times interview, you can go to the
Mm-hmm.
newyorktimes.com and you can find their interview from July here on there. And,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
definitely listen to those interviews. But you can tell that you guys are, it's not a bitter thing. You're just, explaining what you're really about and getting a chance to uh, have more platforms to do exactly that.
Amen. What a huge, unexpected blessing.
Well,
Huge.
I'm so happy for you guys, and um,
Thank you so
because,
much.
like I said, it's all it does, all for me. I'm a little bit of a rebel Christian, not in a rebel against God, but a rebel against the system. And, like, so for me, I'm like, I would be like, absolutely, this is awesome. They think it's controversial. I'm about to make it really controversial. I'm gonna bring the gospel and slam it down in every place, in every place that will, bend my ear, regardless of who it is. You can tell the gospel to
Mm-hmm.
anybody. So I think it's
Right.
so amazing that you guys have had this chance. And so now, do you guys have an album out with this single, or is this just a single that you came out with?
Oh, yes, we do have an album out entitled Continuous Praise. And What Would Heaven Look Like is on the album.
Oh,
It's
awesome.
actually the first song on the album. So we do want to encourage people to, of course, get the single for What Would Heaven Look Like, but also get the Continuous Praise album. And I believe the information for that, best way to do that is just to message our Facebook page, because I
Okay.
don't believe that the full album is available digitally, but I know that What Would Heaven Look Like is available digitally.
Okay, like on all the Google Plays and iTunes and all of that.
Yeah, exactly. iTunes. Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
we need
Definitely on
to,
iTunes.
and we need to support it, and gift it to somebody if you need to, or whatever. Just, and share the video on your
Yes.
Facebook and social media, so that people can hear the song, and for it to do exactly what you originally, I'm sure, intended for it to do, and that's to
Mm-hmm.
share a vision of heaven. To
Mm-hmm.
maybe have a little bit of that vision here on earth, and a little picture of unity. And I think that's easy to
Mm-hmm.
accomplish now that you've been given some platforms. I'm excited to hear what happens on Huckabee. He can be very interesting, when it comes to topics like that. And I'm really interested in how that goes. So I'll be listening. Do you know what
Mm-hmm.
time you're going to be on Huckabee?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I wish I could tell you.
Are you
But we're definitely
pre-recording?
going to keep you posted. Yeah, It's pre-recorded. Yes, we're going
Okay.
to be taping.
All right. Well, make sure you post it. So if they stay tuned to your Facebook, then you'll be posting on Facebook when you'll be on air on on
Absolutely.
Huckabee, so everybody can get a hold of that and tour dates and your music and everything like that. Facebook is sadly has
Exactly.
become kind of an easier medium than websites. People get tired. They don't like to go to websites. They're already on Facebook. They'd rather just you know jump over to a page instead of have to go to a website link or have to type something out. So definitely Facebook
Mm-hmm.
is a great place to share. And there's some things that
It
social
is.
media can be very negative, but then again there's incredible times, especially like this, where we can use it to just give God more glory and get the word of the gospel out
Amen.
there more and more.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm a huge fan
Absolutely.
of the song. I'm glad I've never talked to you guys, and I really I love your sound. I think it is amazing, and I mean, I love the video from the.
Thank
I
you.
didn't see the video. I'll be honest until Brian sent me the
Okay.
link. I saw it on Brian's Facebook actually, saying
Ah,
that you guys had been taken down off Facebook, and then I was like, well, now I gotta see it. Like and
right.
then then
Gotta
when they
see it
put it
now.
back up, I was like, okay, I don't get this, but I love it. I mean, I don't get I don't get them taking it down on Facebook, but man, I was like, hey, they just gained a new big fan, so I'm good with
Oh,
that.
thank you
Got
so much. I'm so happy to hear that.
more music for
That's
me.
great.
Well, we're going to air your interview next week, and we will tag you when it airs. And then what we do is we usually put
Thank you.
a short clip on air because we start losing our listeners after about 7 or 8 minutes. And like
Okay, yeah.
we
Makes
put
sense.
like the meat of the interview together, and then air that part. But then we put the entire thing up on YouTube, and we tag
Oh,
through our page. We tag Facebook, we tag Instagram and Twitter and everything, so that people who already are fans of yours can go back and listen to your message. And is there anything else? I mean, I'll edit this out, but is there anything else you would like me to promote, like while we're already talking?
oh, well, you have done such a great job promoting, and you immediately said on the beginning of our interview that you understood that it was just a unifying message, and I'm so glad that you grasped that. That was exactly the point that we're trying to get across. Galatians 3:28 talks about how we are all one in Christ, no matter where we come from. And so that is exactly what we're trying to get over. That we're all his children, and he loves all of us. So it'd be
Well,
great. That
our station is kind of small, and what we did is we decided to we want to kind of look like the UN, when it's all said and done. We want like our station, but really we want people to see, like, we may not be able to change the world by even posting something, but what we can do is we can be a living example. It's called Vision Radio, because our vision is that then with just in this little in our radio station, in our community and the neighborhoods around it, and anybody who listens on our app or on TuneIn app or on our website or however they listen to us, that they see that there are all these different people that look different. We have
exactly.
Latino, we have from Africa, we have
Mm-hmm.
um different. I mean, we have me, we have the white girl in the afternoons. um like, we have all different styles and ages and different music.
Mm-hmm.
My music in the afternoons, it's like I do worship, I do hip hop, I do pop rock,
Oh,
I do
great.
southern, I do you know like if there was
God
some
bless you.
reggae, whatever I can throw in there that's all
Awesome.
different. It's a melting pot. I like to throw it all in
Right.
there because I think people should be I think they should be inspired spiritually, mentally, and physically. The song should move them emotionally, and the
Mhm.
lyrics and should really speak to them. But sometimes that's just a celebratory thing. Sometimes it's a song that just gets them dancing and gets them in a good mood,
Right.
and then sometimes it brings them down to a state of worship. I just kind of play a little bit of everything, and
Mhm.
as soon as I throw some like super hip hop songs in there, and then I'll throw in a worship song to confuse them, because we're trying to change the way people look at radio and Christian radio, especially that we
Mhm.
that we want to be very, very diverse, but we want to be very,
Right.
very, very, very unified. It's diversity with
Exactly.
unity through diversity, and with
Yeah.
diversity, and that is our goal of Vision Radio, as a
Mhm.
station, and for us, we like, well, if we can at least be an example to the community around our station, and maybe to Southern
Mhm.
Georgia, or to anybody who looks at our website and sees all these different styles of people working together on one station, and we're all different styles of
Mhm.
music too. I don't like country music, and I'm from Texas, so
Really?
no,
You're in the South.
I'm from Texas and I don't like country. Now
Wow.
I will tolerate me some Need to Breathe. I mean, there's some. I like me some Crowder. But even then, I can only handle
Oh
so
yeah.
much. Need to Breathe in concert, I can go all night. There's some times where it just hits right, but it's rare. It's really rare. I'm more of your like pop hip hop person. I like to throw some rock
Really?
in
Okay.
there for sure. Yeah, I'm
Nice.
definitely the upbeat one, but it's called the Overdrive. I usually start them off in first gear. I got to I got to put them in a state of worship, and then like slowly like pump them up.
Pump it up.
Get some slow jam going in there, little R&B styles. Thankfully, we have a lot of
Okay.
different styles to choose from, and but I like I think that all of it's important. I think it should all be celebrated, and
It should be. I
it really
agree.
should be. Here's what's funny is I'm not even going to guess how old you are. I would never do that to any woman. But for me, I'm almost 50, and so like I grew
Mhm.
up in the 80s, and we had
Mhm.
like 12 artists maybe, or like you could count on two hands between like gospel style, and rock and
Mhm.
pop and worship, like all the styles. You maybe had like 10, 12 artists. And but
Mhm. Well,
and
that's
now
normal. Even now.
but see, now but that's all we had. Like, and they didn't have a Christian
Oh.
radio station anywhere. They didn't even have Christian radio where we lived in Dallas.
Oh.
So that's what's funny about it, is like that's really all there was. There was, Amy Grant, Striper, Sandy Patty, Lionel Harris. I mean, they had like some here
Mhm.
and there, but they didn't even have like a station because there wasn't enough artists to make a whole station of music out of it. But what's sad is that now
Gotcha.
now they're still only playing like 12 or 13 artists, but
Exactly.
but we have
But there's so much
thousands.
more.
Oh my gosh. And not only that, is there's not like there's thousands of types of our types of people and different styles, but also too is
Mhm.
that what's bad about it is, you know, in secular, I have a thing as a mom. My kids are in their 20s. I always had a thing as a mom, like if I had to say no to like them staying all night out for prom night, then I figured out a way to say yes in another way. Like, okay, well you can't do that, but you can have all your friends
Mhm.
over, and I will feed you guys till you're stuffed and can't take no more, and you can watch movies all night, play video games. You can play water balloon fights.
Right. Right.
Whatever you want to do. Like I mean, you guys will make a bonfire. Like we'll do something all night long, and you guys can stay up all night and have all your friends over and still have an amazing night and not regret it at all. But
Mhm. Right.
for like music, I think my kids, I have one daughter who really only likes rock music. My son likes, like pop and Christian music mainly. But my daughter, if
Okay.
it's not Justin Bieber or Hunter Hayes, like it's either country or pop with her. That's it. It's either like
Gotcha.
she'll play one or the other. Well, she likes hip hop with her pop, but she likes some hip hop with her
Okay.
pop. But like she really just likes those two things. She does not like rock at all. And pop music, it's got a fine line too. Like so there with my kids, I mean, only Winter Jam was the only place I could take them where they could hear different stuff, because otherwise they really
Gotcha.
didn't bring it in our church. I would take them to different
Mm-hmm.
concerts because I worked in radio, and so I would either please one kid or one and a half kids, but I couldn't all,
You can't get them
but
all right.
I couldn't
It's
please all three of
impossible.
my kids. And I think any
Right.
station should be able to please all styles at some point. Like, maybe Saturday night is when you
Right.
play like a youth rock and hip hop show where, it's not,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's not the afternoon show kind of style, but I'm sorry, I'll throw it in there too. Like, not to be rebellious, but to say this is still, even if it's not my thing, I don't care for a bunch of Southern music, but I put it on my show because if it's good and it's inspiring and it's just done well, I don't care if they've got a label, they don't. I've ever heard of them, whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
added a girl's song today that I looked at it and I was like, I don't even know how to say her name. And then I played the song and went through the song two or three times and I was like, I'm sold. I have no idea who she is, but it's going in the playlist,
Wow, that's
because
good. I know she appreciated that.
and I think if really sadly, there's so much great music, and I mean, you had to have a Facebook controversy to get heard, and I think outside of the right people just seeing you at the right time, and or if you get signed to a particular label, I mean, it's really you have to decide, do you want to be in the club or do you not? There's a
Mm-hmm.
club, there's that select group of people that they're going to play on repeat, and then they're going to every
Right.
once in a while give a shot to the other ones. And I hope this helps you break out of the pack so that you can really get heard. But mainly, I want
Thank
you
you
to fulfill
so,
whatever
so
God's
much.
calling is. I mean, maybe God's calling is not that you go big, but hopefully it is. But whatever it is, well, I'm here, so you can always throw stuff my way if you ever need help getting a
We
new song
appreciate you,
heard.
Ginger. You really do.
Well, absolutely. Love your music and away from it. But thank you so much for the interview. I'm so excited to get to finally meet
My
you.
pleasure.
And good luck with everything with Huckabee this weekend. I'll be listening. I want to hear how that goes. And so blessings on you. And you'll have my email now, so you can let me know. And
Yes.
this is my cell number, so you got my cell. So
Okay.
anytime you need something, let me
Thank
know.
you.
And you can friend me on Facebook, whatever. And
Okay, I will search that. Thank you so much. God bless you too.